What's up? It's Tom. Thanks for being here. We're going to talk about really this entire week so far of action, but starting with kind of the thing that's most at top of mind. We'll get to some better news in a minute, but Joe Ryan throws this pitch and immediately motions to the dugout, exited with, as Dan Hayes is relaying here, right tricep tightness. I'm not going to play doctor here and try to paint this in a way that I know what's going on, but I will say just from a layman's standpoint, not seeing elbow, not seeing forearm, that seems like a good sign, but at the same time, I think it's realistic to expect that we're not going to see Joe Ryan for at least a little while. So that's a huge blow, and, obviously it's really easy to think of the trade deadline, which was not that long ago, and say this is exactly why. You go out and you get a starting pitcher even when it doesn't appear as though you need one, but that's water under the bridge at this point. More on that in a second. But just sort of to hammer on this series, the Twins won on Monday but then lost the last 2 days. Didn't look particularly good in doing so either. So, it would have been great to build some momentum heading into this Cleveland series. Cleveland also hasn't been playing very well of late, so there was some opportunity to make up some ground as well. That's not how it went. Twins are off tomorrow, Thursday, and then have that doubleheader to open up this gigantic weekend series against Cleveland. So we'll see how it goes, and opportunities, opening the door. They didn't trade for a starting pitcher. You know what? We've seen Simeon Woods-Richardson step up. We've seen David Festa recently step up. Louis Varland's going to get his opportunity, and this news came out before anything with Joe Ryan. Louis Varland's going to be recalled to pitch one of the doubleheader games on Friday. Been pitching extremely well in St. Paul of late, like sub-2 ERA over his last handful of starts for them. These other teams that are competing are going to have guys go down, and other guys are going to have to step up. That's just the way it works, and hopefully it's Louis Varland. That certainly would be convenient, but if not him, somebody else. So we'll see how it goes. Louis Varland, I think, definitely has earned this chance, and I'm excited to see what he does. Moving over to some minor league action, Andrew Morris was the man tonight for Wichita. Oh my God, 7 shutout innings with 9 strikeouts and 1 walk. Only 2 hits. He was bullying people with his fastball up in the zone. 79 pitches, 61 of which were strikes. That is a 77.2 strike percentage. He's got some kind of Joe Ryan-ness to him in that he can get away with throwing so many fastballs. He has a unique arm slot, and then he throws it up in the zone. A lot of his other, as you saw right there, a lot of his other pitches have great downward action, so they really combine really well and tunnel really well with that high fastball. And much like Joe Ryan, when things are going well, he's making it look really easy. It looked ridiculously easy to pitch if you were watching this game tonight and watching Andrew Morris. And I just want to call out, this is actually not even including Morris's super impressive start from tonight, entering today. If you look at all of Double-A, and just take the guys that have thrown 50 or more innings, which is quite a few, the top 2 in FIP, fielder independent pitching, are Zebby Matthews and Andrew Morris. How awesome is that? The best 2 pitchers in all of Double-A. And, of course, Zebby Matthews has been promoted since then. He's up in Triple-A. Man, that is awesome. That is awesome. And, man, Morris is only going to look better after today. So much fun. We'll take a look at his line and some of the other lines in a moment here, but we're going to move over to today's Saints game. Kyle Farmer rehabbing. This was his first rehab game with the Saints. Late in this one, the Saints they actually came from a 2-0 deficit in the bottom of the 8th to score 4 runs, with Kyle Farmer capping that off with this double off a lefty. That's what he's here for, off a lefty. And then Justin Topa, who I kind of thought I didn't think he would be pitching for the Saints again, to be honest. But he pitched an inning, gave up 1 hit, 2 strikeouts on 12 pitches. Take a look at some of his data in just a moment. But I also want to call out that Diego Castillo pitched the final inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout on 17 pitches. We're going to take a look at some data from both of these guys because I kind of challenged myself to think about, to some degree, gave myself kind of a question of, why is Justin Topa still around? That could be a lot of reasons. I called this out in his last outing that his velo is down. His velo is actually down even further in this outing than it was in the previous outing. But he threw literally one sinker, which is the hardest pitch he throws. So, maybe take that with a grain of salt. And again, as I called out last outing, he is more of a location and changing speeds guy than he is just overpowering. He still misses bait. He gets struck out 2 guys tonight. So it's not like he doesn't miss bats, but it is more of a movement location profile. But man, when you look at Diego Castillo, I realize he got a couple outings for the Twins, and he looked bad, walked a bunch of guys. But this is a guy who's been a successful major leaguer himself. Topped out at 98.4 miles per hour today, and all of his stuff is way up. Justin Topa's on the 40-man. Diego Castillo is not. So, take that for what it's worth. But it just kind of got my wheels turning. I don't think that we'll see Diego Castillo before Justin Topa, but in a just world, maybe should we? I don't know. I'm just a thought experiment that this game put me through, and it's a great situation to be in. We'll just put it that way. Justin Topa, he's on a rehab assignment. I said it last time. I'll say it again. I bet you his next appearance is with the Twins. I can't imagine. Obviously, the velo being down is a concern, but I don't know how long this guy's going to be rehabbing for. But if that doesn't work for whatever reason, or if there's something going on and he's broken, Diego Castillo is going to be an option to turn to potentially as well. So just throwing that out there. Anyway, we're going to take a step back to Tuesday and discuss this Mighty Muscles lineup. Unfortunately, the Mighty Muscles are on the road this week. The team they're playing doesn't have an MILB broadcast. I did see, though, the Mighty Muscles team account on Twitter is sharing some video because they get, the center field camera. That's it. So if you want to see some video of these guys, you can. But all the guys underlined in green are the 2024 draftees that made their debut on Tuesday and how they did. I wanted to grab this screenshot from Baseball Savant because you can see Kyle DeBarge, in his literal pro debut, had 4 hard-hit balls. Billy Amick had 3. Kadeem Jiao had 2. All in their pro debuts. Caden Kendall had 1. You see he came in for Brandon Winokur. Winokur played today, so he was not hurt. So that's a great sign. And then you can see multi-hit games from DeBarge, from Amick, from Jiao. Even Farrar had a sac fly and a walk. Thomason had a multi-hit game. So just all these debuting guys had huge games on Tuesday. So much fun to see them all come in here and contribute right away to the Mighty Muscles and just hitting the crap out of the ball. Again, a hard hit ball that's in excess of 95 miles per hour. Billy Amick in particular destroyed some baseballs in this game. So we'll just, while we're on Tuesday, we'll just run through the usual info here. Christian McLeod struck out 8 batters over 5 innings of 1-run ball for the Wind Surge on Tuesday. He's the guy who's re-entered my top 50, a left-hander. Really seems to be clicking all of a sudden, which is great to see. He's been hurt a lot. Command in particular kind of takes some time to come back. I think he's back, which is exciting. Edouard Julien homered. Tanner Schobel hit 2 homers for the Wind Surge, which is a big deal because he only has 7 on the entire year. So for him to have a 2-homer game is a pretty big deal. Walker Jenkins had a pair of doubles in another game for some reason that there was broadcast issues, not available. 2 for 5 with 2 doubles for Walker Jenkins. And then Rickson Widgrove hit another homer for the Muscles. Moving on to today's numbers, Ian Andrew Morris, 7 shutout innings of 2 hit ball with 1 walk and 9 strikeouts, just 79 pitches to do that, too. Again, just was bullying guys with fastballs. Charlee Soto, again, unfortunately, no video for these Mighty Muscles games. 5 shutout innings of 1 hit ball, no walks, and 3 strikeouts, 45 pitches, was the Twins minor league pitcher of the month last month. So quite a way to get things going for Charlee Soto, who really seems to be putting things together. Still 18. Still crazy. And especially when you think about like how they've handled a guy like Marco Raya. And body type wise, these are night and day, but it speaks volumes at how they're handling Charlee Soto, and I would imagine they're very excited about what this guy's done, and I am too. Like, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool to see and to envision how this might go, because the Twins are turning guys like Debbie Matthews and Andrew Morris into really exciting prospects. I mean, what's it going to be with a guy like Soto? On the hitting side, Luke Keyshaw hit another homer. What I call it, Ben Ross hit another homer for the Wind Surge too. He's really turned around his season and is playing really well of late. Multi-hit game for Gabriel Gonzalez. Brandon Winokur, again, who was back out there, had a 3-hit night with a home run himself. And then the results from the last 2 days. Again, didn't do a recap yesterday, so want to make sure we cover everything here. Wind Surge and Mighty Muscles have won both of their games this week. Of course, the minor leagues are off on Monday. Twins won on Monday, but lost their last 2. We'll wrap it up there. Thanks so much for checking this one out. Really appreciate you. We'll talk again soon.